The Knicks go into Sacktown on the second night of a back-to-back. And the way this thing started, man, didn't look so promising because it came out slow, lethargic, absolutely lifeless, and the Kings just seemed to have everything clicking for them. Knicks found themselves down by as much as 20 points in this game. But, Mike Breen and Clyde wondered what was said in that locker room in halftime. Because in the second half, Julius Randle, RJ Barrett, Emmanuel Quickley, the entire starting five and the supporting cast, what was left of them, led a ferocious Knicks comeback and dominated the Kings by the score of 131-115. Incredible turnaround by the Knicks. And a 46-point performance by Julius Randle. RJ Barrett's 29 and Emmanuel Quickley's 27. Lead the Knicks to the first back-to-back wins since January 12th. Almost 2 months. You know, from what I've seen, just watching the league this year and watching the Knicks this year, it seems typical that, the team that's on the second part of a back-to-back seems to take them a little while to, get into a groove, and the Knicks being on the road, traveling from LA to Sacktown, just seemed like a completely different team than what we saw last night. Very slow on both ends of the floor, no ball movement. No, crisp. The rotations on the defensive side weren't crisp. Kings were just having their way. Sabonis, Fox, you name it, Holiday, everybody in the Kings was practically cooking, man. But in the second half, give credit because I thought Tibbs made several adjustments. We lost Mitch, first to foul trouble, then to illness. Sims was in foul trouble. He had old man Taj manning the paint and doing the damn thing. And they started doubling Sabonis, getting the ball out of his hands. Kings really came into the second half a lot, very lifeless. And then give credit, man. On the other end, Julius was dominant all night. We talk about the Sabonis matchup all the time, how he seems to take that one personally. RJ Barrett as well. I thought RJ really did a good job of keeping this thing within striking distance at the half. Really dominating on his drives and keeping this thing close. In the second half, he maintained. And then, like I said, Emmanuel Quickley, another solid outing for him. And it seems like Quickley's back, bro. So 131-115, great win by the Knicks. Tough one for the tank, but hey, we'll take it.
You got to start with Julius Randle, 46 points, 10 rebounds, 8 threes.
Threes, career high, 8 threes, locked in, bro.
Career high 8 threes, and now Randle joins Carmelo Anthony, Patrick Ewing as the only Knicks with 45 points, 10 rebounds in a game over the last 30 seasons. He's the second player in Knicks history with at least 45 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 threes in a game. The other was Melo in January of 2014, and both were career highs. And I even thought in the second half, the small difference was he was shooting quicker. He was shooting within the offense. You saw the first shot coming off, the third quarter. He took a 3 at the top of the key, and it was within the flow of the offense. He did not hesitate. He said that in the post game is, one of the things that he wants to continue to work on is, not being too hesitant in certain possessions. So, hey, this is a player that understands, it seems from his post game tonight, things where he can get better. I know, the thing with him is the consistency of those habits. So great game by him. And here we go. You can make the case, CP, that this could have been 3 games in a row the Knicks should have won if Cam would have stayed in that game, against Phoenix. This could have been 3 straight games. So even if that's a loss, this is 3 games now. The Knicks are playing well. And the effort is certainly turning, man. And then when you look around everywhere else, you got, great, contributions for the team. Deuce McBride continuing to show that defense.
Good hustle.
And even Cam gave you some decent minutes. So we'll see what's his status on the injury report. I'm looking online. But, outstanding night by Julius Randle.
And Cam Reddish took an unfortunate tumble late in this comeback effort, trying to block a Davion Mitchell shot, land awkwardly between his shoulder and his head. So he left the game holding his shoulder. We'll see what happens there. I haven't seen anything in terms of his injury. So they definitely, were shorthanded. But we talk about Tibbs' adjustments. As I said, started Taj in the second half. Started doubling Sabonis more, taking the ball out of his hands, which I thought was the right move. As I said, I thought RJ did a good job, especially to close the second quarter when we were, trying to get into a little bit of a groove, man. He was very steady, again, attacking with ease, very efficient on his drives, 11 for 21 from the field. So good night there. 3 of 6 from downtown, 4 of 4 from the stripe, 29, 8, and 6. RJ's here, bro. And you could just see his demeanor, the look on his face, the competitive energy that he's bringing to the team. This is a different player right now. Totally different player.
Yeah, and RJ, very 50% from the floor tonight. 11 of 21, 50% all around. 50% from the floor, 50% from three. And how about this? 4 of 4 from the free throw line.
4 of 4 from the free throw line. Yep.
Last night he was 7 of 7. Let's take a moment here. That's 2 games in a row. He's 11 for 11. I don't even know. I will have to look to see if this is a career high for him. RJ's continuing to be consistent. I'll tell you what, CP. Looking forward. He's starting, you're starting to look at these box scores. He's starting to give you those all-star numbers that these wings put up in the Eastern Conference.
Yep. There's no doubt the story of RJ, if he can continue on this track, is a big win for this season, a huge win for the season. So great job by him. Again, I talked about Quickley last night. The Quickley haters, you guys got to come to the state. I told you I'll be patient with my guy. Last 7 games for Quick, 16.9 points, shooting 54% from the field, 49% from 3, and 5 boards. Quickly, another instrumental figure in this game tonight. 27 points tonight, 6 boards, 4 dimes, 7 of 10 from the field, 3 of 5 from downtown, 10 of 11 from the stripe. And, the thing with Quick is, yes, he's continuing to work on his playmaking, even though some of those times it may not translate into assists. You're looking for his vision, and again, he may not end as a point guard on this team, and he doesn't have to be necessarily. But if he can add playmaking chops to his resume, I think that'll be a great thing for this team, especially coming off the bench.
Tonight, beautiful night. He had 2 backcourt guards in the backcourt, which opened up the floor. I thought so. Good point, JD. Because, IQ wasn't running around like a chicken with his head off. Yeah. It was like Deuce was there, and his presence was there. His defense was there. And I'm not putting it all on Deuce to make Julius's night, but Julius will be a star for us, but not in the NBA All-Star way. I see Julius being an 18-point, 12 rebound, great defense, aggressive like he was tonight, and he'll still be our All-Star. So we're not going to have stats. Ain't never been our thing. It's been the heart, and that's what we had tonight.
Big night by RJ, big night by Julius, big night by Quickley. But in my opinion, I'm sure you guys talked about it in the monologue, but I think Taj Gibson was defensive bonus. And it's just overall grit. And that's why, CP, when you vouch for Sims minutes and when you vouch for Mitch minutes, you always throw it in there. Taj is my guy. You're not just saying that because, the family connection or whatnot. It's Taj is that, you know what I mean? So he provides that, and in my opinion, in a perfect world, we could have used him at some point this year in a valuable role, and you saw it tonight. I really want to say that Taj Gibson gets the game ball for that. That's what we want as fans. I mean, he held it down for us to respect that game. We were down 20, we cut the lead of 15. And Julius comes out, he hits that 3, and then we start playing defense. We start cutting off lanes to the basket. We start ripping balls away. And the last 2 nights have been great wins, but they've been frustrating wins because I really believe, and if you look at the schedule, you want to do it on your own time, there's a lot of winnable games there, and there's a lot of adjustments. I know, JD, I'm not watching on YouTube, but I know you're shaking and nodding your head right now. There's a lot of adjustments and players that are in the rotation that are just bringing energy. If you ever played at the park or whatnot, you play 5-on-5, it takes energy to get through some possessions. And Deuce McBride stripping a ball away, going jump ball against Harrison Barnes, getting a steal after the clear path, like little plays like that change the energy of the game.